And now some good news coming in for the real estate market. In fact, the private equity investment is up 10% year on year. This has been recorded in this year. In fact, the private equity investment in real estate is going up, and the investment has gone up to $4.3 billion US. The investors are bullish on the real estate market. What does this mean for you, and why? What are the reasons driving this kind of bullish behavior? As far as the private equity is concerned, the private equity investors are concerned in the real estate market. To understand this and more, let's go across at this moment to Ashwinder R. Singh, co-chair of CII Real Estate and vice chairperson and CEO of the BCD Group. We are also being joined by Suresh Garg, CMD, Nirala World Vice President of Credai. Gentlemen, thank you. We will also go across to Nasir Salim in a short while from now. He's a managing director at Flexi Capital, former banker and investment expert. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us. Mr. Singh, let me start by asking you, just for a better understanding of our viewers, what does this mean? Who are these people, those who are driving the real estate market at this moment?
See, this is it's around $4.3 billion of investment that has happened in private equity, out of which 88% has come from foreign institutional investors, which just shows the confidence that the foreign investors are now having, not just on the Indian real estate, but in the Indian economy as a whole. 50% of this investment has come in warehousing and industrial. Around 1.2 billion out of this 4.3 billion has come in the residential sector. So it is a broad-based investment that has happened, and it's been a 10% growth. And what it looks like is that the next year also we are going to see another 10% similar growth happening in the private equity real estate space. So overall, a broad-based interest globally in the Indian real estate across various asset classes that is happening at this point in time.
Right. So, I mean, a lot of it coming from the foreign investors. But Mr. Garg, if I may, understand this from you, what does this mean, let's say, for individual buyers? Does it also mean that in the all right, I'll go to Mr. Garg in a short while from now, but Nasir Salim is with us. Mr. Salim, just for the benefit of our viewers, what does this mean as far as the pricing, of the housing industry is concerned, real estate, especially for middle and the upper middle class? Does this mean that this is going to drive the prices up?
Good evening, Ankit. Thank you very much for having me on your show. And thank you for correcting my name. I'm regular with NDTV now. But anyways, so Ankit, to your question, I think more importantly, I think before we get into the specifics of price rise or inflation as far as real estate is concerned, we need to kind of understand and deep dive into why is PE, private equity, investing large chunks of money in real estate. One of my co-panelists just came on your show and said this and alluded to the fact that there is a lot of appetite which is being absorbed in the real estate sector. But broadly, Ankit, I think one of the few things that we need to consider is that India is expected to be a flagship logistics destination hub globally, and that will attract a lot of flow, which will continue to build in industrial parks, as rightly said, big plane logistics. I must tell you, there's also in residential there is a lot of premiumization that we're seeing now. A lot of the middle income group, the upper income, middle income group. And I must tell you, the ones who have good disposable income are looking to upgrade themselves considerably in terms of luxury segments of real estate in residential. And then there is the other sector, which is, allied sectors such as data centers and life sciences, which will also provide further impetus. So there is a lot of demand which is expected to grow in an emerging economy like that of India.
Right.
And we feel that all of this will push up definitely the appetite for real estate investing. Now, to answer your point and to root your question, whether real estate will increase, look, it's a function of demand and supply.
Yes.
We feel at Flexi Capital, Ankit, that there is a good opportunity expected in terms of price expectation to go up further because of two main reasons. One, as I told you, the demand which is inherent. Number two, there is also a possible rate cut that may happen, which historically we have seen that whenever a rate cut happens, announced by the RBI in this particular case, interest rates do start to come down.
Okay.
And that also attracts a lot of flows towards real estate, which may push up the prices as well.
Right.
And, expectedly give a superior risk-adjusted return. And one last thing, very, very important point, in as far as real estate is concerned, there is something called REITs, okay? These are real estate investment trusts, which are also gaining a lot of prominence, Ankit, I must tell you. And that will also continue to get traction because it's monies which is invested through these trusts. It's a pooled avenue of investing, which attracts dividend income from real estate, broadly from commercial and logistics.
All right, Mr. Garg is also with us. Mr. Garg, I also just to, like our both the panelists have been saying that these are good signs in a sense that it shows not only trust in the Indian economy, but also in the real estate sector. And Mr. Singh was also saying that 80 or 88%, if I'm not mistaken, our investors are the ones, those who are the foreign investors, entities, those who are investing in India at this moment. How do you see the impact of this on the whole, not only on the real estate sector, but also on the economy, sir?
बाहर का फंड जितना भी इंडिया में आएगा और वो एज इक्विटी आएगा, तो वो रियल एस्टेट इंडस्ट्री हो या इंडिया की कोई भी इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी हो, उसके लिए बेटर है. रिस्क फैक्टर कम होगा अगर वो एज ए इक्विटी इन्वेस्टमेंट आता है इंस्टेड ऑफ फिक्स रिटर्न के बेस पे, इंटरेस्ट पे बेस के अलावा आता है, तो इंडिया के लिए और इंडिया की इकोनॉमी के लिए बेटर है.
All right, Mr. Singh, if I may bring you in and, for a quick comment on the fact that there are these institutional investors, those who are putting in money as far as the Indian real estate market is concerned. But at the same time, we are also seeing, let's take, for example, the satellite town or the city of Noida, where there are so many projects which are yet to be completed. Very big names have gone bust. They have, in fact, pulled their hands off those. And now we are seeing how the Supreme Court had to come in and some projects are going on. I'm talking about the, the home market, the home buyers, especially the middle class buyers. At a time when we are seeing this growth, of $4.9 billion or 10% increase, what impact do you see this on the residential housing sector? I mean, is it also going to bring in new players, drive, in fact, the prices up?
Ankit, this is a good question because all these issues that you're talking about, Noida, they happened, mostly these are projects which are prior to RERA. There's been a lot of confidence that is generated in the home buyer after RERA has been implemented. It's been around 7-8 years since when RERA has been implemented. And this year has been the best ever year for real estate as far as residential sales are concerned. Around 500,000 homes will be sold this year, a little more than that, which is 500,000 crores of residential real estate sales happening. If I give you a perspective on the pricing and the capital value, the way they have changed, in 23, the average price of a launch in the top 7 cities was around 1 crore. Which has gone up to 1 crore 25 lakhs in terms of average price of launch in the top 7 cities. This kind of capital value increase has never been seen in India. This is unprecedented. I don't think this kind of capital appreciation will continue in 25 and 26.
Okay.
However, the demand is very robust. The end user demand is very robust. The first time home buyer in India is playing a very important role.
Right.
And there is a huge amount of upgrade which is expected. So I feel, just to give an answer to your question, the uncompleted projects are something of the history. Yes, they are there, but they are all pre-RERA mostly. And as far as the current regime, post-RERA regime is concerned, the home buyer confidence is very high and the deliveries are happening on time.
Nasir, I'm completely out of time. So just the last minute to you and the last word to you, on this. If somebody is thinking to invest in the Indian market and I'm not an institutional buyer, I'm somebody who just wants to invest in the market, looking at some returns as far as the real estate market. Is this a good time? Is there a bubble that people keep talking about, the real estate bubble? All those worries as far as the individual investors are concerned.
No, I think, Ankit, clearly there is a lot of aspiration in India, which is continuing to support growth. And as far as, if you look at fundamentals are concerned, realty as a sector is looking interesting. It's undervalued. Obviously, what our recommendation is speak to experts and certified investors who can help you, guide you, and navigate you through this journey. But real estate as a sector is looking promising broadly, and category A developers, especially in the listed space, are making a lot of good noise and launching good projects, which will get eventually absorbed by a lot of aspiration in India and a young India that is promising to give you a great return on capital.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time and your expertise. We are hoping that this upswing that we are seeing as the real estate market is concerned continues, and it is good news for the Indian economy as well.